Hey, little disciples. It's Lexi Georgia, the podcast host of Grain of Grace, and today I'm here with Eloise Hunter.
Hi.
We are going to be going through the book of Esther, but before we start, I'm going to go ahead and let her say a few things about herself, because if we're going to be going through the Bible together, we're going to be besties.
Hi, my name's Eloise Hunter. I'm a junior. I attend Life Church. I'm a student leader there, and I gave my life to Christ probably about, I would say, a year ago. I fully dived in. And then I got baptized this past November. So yeah.
I know Ellie through school. That's like it. That's like how then I visited church one time and I saw you there.
Oh yeah.
But through school. So we're going to go ahead and read through it and then talk about it. If you don't have the app Enduring Word, download it now because we are going to be using that as a resource. It's a Bible commentary app and it really helps me understand the Bible.
I've never used it, so I'm excited.
Okay. Also, there might be some words in here that I don't know how to pronounce.
Do you have the King James Version?
I have Christian Standard.
Oh, what's that?
It's just Christian Standard.
Oh, okay.
It's because this is a study Bible. I really like ESV.
I don't think I have the King James Version. I don't even know why I said that.
I like to cross-reference.
I don't know what I have. I think it's just NIV.
Yeah. No, I don't remember what that stands for.
I don't know either.
But NIV is popular.
Yeah.
I like NIV and ESV, and I mean, Christian Standard isn't my favorite to read in, but it's
New International. Okay.
Yeah. It's good. Okay.
All right.
Ready? Vashti angers the king. These events took place during the days of Xerxes, who ruled 127 provinces from India to Kush. In those days, King Xerxes reigned from his royal throne in the fortress at Susa. He held a feast in the 3rd year of his reign for all his officials and staff, the army of Persia, Media, the nobles, and the officials from all the provinces. He displayed the glorious wealth of his kingdom and the magnificent splendor of his greatness for a total of 180 days. At the end of this time, the king held a week-long banquet in the garden courtyard of the royal palace for all the people, from the greatest to the least, who were present in the fortress of Susa. White and blue linen hangings were fastened with fine white and purple linen cords to silver rods on marble columns. Gold and silver couches were arranged on a mosaic pavement of red feldspar, marble, mother of pearl, and precious stones. Drinks were served in an array of gold goblets, each with a different design. Royal wine flowed freely according to the king's bounty. The drinking was according to royal decree. There are no restrictions. The king had ordered every wine steward and his household to serve whatever each person wanted. Queen Vashti also gave a feast for the women of King Xerxes' palace. On the 7th day, when the king was feeling good from the wine, Xerxes commanded Mehuman, Bithsba, Harbana, Bigatha, what is that? Abagath?
Oh, hi, Lanta.
Zethar, and Carcass. The 7.
Carcass is like the most generic one, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. The 7, I think it's Enut. Enut. It's a weird word to pronounce. It's like Enuch, I think.
What is it?
The 7 Enuch. It's in 10. The 7 Enuches who personally served him to bring King Vashti before him with her royal crown. He wanted to show off her beauty to all the people and the officials because she was very beautiful. But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command. Sorry.
You're good.
That was delivered by his Enuches. The king became furious and anger burned within him. So there's actually, before we go on, I want to make sure that we're like understanding everything.
Right.
So, there was one word that I actually didn't know what it meant. Feldspar.
Where's that at?
It's in verse 6.
I'm trying to eat.
But it says mine has a little B at the end. It says or porphyry.
I don't think I have that.
I don't know what it means. I think it's because they're talking about right here.
Maybe we should
Red
look
feldspar.
that.
Yeah, you want to Google it?
Yeah, I'm gonna Google.
I'm pretty sure. Well, they're talking about like all the like decorative stuff, so I'm assuming it's a
like
decorative
probably a
thing.
decoration.
But I want to make sure we know what words
How do you
mean.
spell it?
It's where's it at again? I lost it. Feldspar.
Oh, it's like a rock. Yeah. So this feldspar is just a.
Oh, it says
It's
on
a mineral.
Yeah. It says gold and silver couches were arranged on a mosaic pavement of red feldspar. So that's the rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
really.
Just so you guys all know, it was rock.
It was rock.
It was a beautiful.
Don't be worried.
It's a beautiful rock. Okay. The king's decree. The king consulted the wise men who understood the times, for it was his normal procedure to confer with the experts in law and justice. The most trusted ones were, okay, we're going to go through names again, so bear with me. Karshana, Sethar, Admatha, Tarshish, Maris,
Marcina? I don't know.
Yeah. Memucan.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Whoa, those kids during roll call. Bless them.
Yeah.
Bless them. They were the 7 officials of Persia and Media. I think it's Media.
Yeah.
Persia and Media, who had personal access to the king and occupied the highest positions in the kingdom. The king asked, according to the law, what should be done with Queen Vashti, because she refused to obey King Xerxes' command that was delivered by the eunuch. Memucan said in the presence of the king and all the officials, King Vashti has wronged not only the king, but all the officials and the peoples who are in every one of King Xerxes' provinces. For the queen's action will become public knowledge to all the women and cause them to despise their husbands and say, King Xerxes ordered Queen Vashti brought before him, but she did not come. Before this day is over, the noble men of Persia and Media who hear about the queen's act will say the same thing to all the king's officials, resulting in more contempt and fury. So I'm going to pause there and kind of explain. So I have read this through this before, but have you?
No, this is like I literally just looked up who wrote this because I like to see who wrote it.
Oh,
first.
yes. I
glanced through it last night and I was like, I'm gonna let Lexi.
I don't remember who
explain
wrote
this.
it. Who wrote it? I don't.
More do you know? I don't know.
Some guy.
Some guy I've never heard of, so I'm excited to learn more about him.
Mordecai. That's Mordecai.
I don't know about him.
Did he write?
It says when I looked it up, he did. So he's the cousin of Esther.
Yes, but he adopted her or something, so he's actually her dad.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I'm pretty sure that when I read through it the first time, that was my understanding.
Yeah.
Because her parents died. Okay, anyways. So,
Backtrack.
we just ended at verse 18. So, I'm going to kind of talk through this, like what the kind of logistics of it when I first read through this. So, King Xerxes is ruling, and Queen Vashti is his queen. And they're having this huge feast, and, you know, the officials are drinking and they're partying and all this stuff, and the king's like, where's my beautiful wife? Like, I want to show my wife off to everyone and kind of boast. And so he's like, tells his eunuchs, his servants, he's like, go get my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, like, I'm not showing up to this party where you're drunk with your friends. Like, I am not coming. And then the king's talking to his wise men, and he's like, well, what should her punishment be? And they're like, well, if everyone saw that she didn't come when you told her to, so all the husbands' wives are going to rebel. All the wives aren't going to listen to their husbands anymore. So, like, that was their understanding, that, like, they needed to punish her because she was an example for other people, and since she didn't submit to her husband, like, they're like angry at her.
Yeah.
And that's also what Enduring Word kind of helped me go through that. So if you guys wanted to read through that as well and get a better understanding, I highly, highly recommend that. Okay. Good? Do you have anything on that?
No, I liked it.
Okay.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
That they treated her like that.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Oh. Okay, we're going to start back at 19. If it meets the king's approval, he should personally issue a royal decree. Let it be recorded in the laws of the Persians and Medes so that it cannot be revoked. Vashti is not to enter King Xerxes' presence, and her royal position is to be given to another woman who is more worthy than she. So the decree the king issues will be heard throughout his vast kingdom, so that all women will honor their husbands from the greatest to the least. The king and his counselors approved the proposal, and he followed Memucan's advice. He sent letters to all the royal provinces, to each province in its own script, and to each ethnic group in its own language, that every man should be a master of his own house and speak the language of his own people.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically then he sent out letters, and he was like, sorry guys for that thing at my party.
Yeah.
My promise you it's handled because she's not going to be around anymore.
Yeah.
Basically.
I like that.
Because he didn't want anyone to come and be like, and leave and then see, oh, maybe this is how I should act, because he didn't want her to be an example.
He was like living for like finding his like value in other people and like pleasing them, I feel like, and trying to be something different than
because he was like very lavish.
No, for sure.
Lifestyle. So one thing that I did this Bible study with Cambry the first time I read through it. And one thing that like her Bible said was to like take a step back and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also heard someone else say the other day, they were like, you shouldn't look at the stories, you should, and like look what you can learn from the people. You should look and see like what you're finding out about God through the stories.
Oh, I like that.
Yes. And my Bible has like this little thing.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it has like a little.
I like that. Mine does not have
I guess
that.
you can't really see it on the screen. Sorry, people on Spotify, you can't see it, but at all. But it has like a little devotional. And it says Vashti the brave and Vashti the bad, and basically, it's like some people are like, that she was like, you go girl for Vashti the brave and for Vashti the bad. Some people are saying that like she should have submitted to him. You know what I mean?
No, but that's like,
I feel like
I don't like that.
I wouldn't have showed up to the party personally.
Like, yeah,
but not if my husband, like, I knew he was drinking and like he wasn't
like himself.
Yeah,
and that's like the whole thing. Like, I don't know, just like having like friends that act different around other people. I feel like that's where I come into play on that too.
Yeah, I totally get that. But another thing that my Bible says is this is not like the word, but the devotional.
Oh, yeah.
Whether we interpret Vashti's actions as brave or bad, the stories about God and his providential care for his chosen people in exile. Vashti is a side note in the book of Esther, but God is the main character of every story.
Ooh, that was good.
I know. I was like,
pick it up and freeze.
Have you seen those videos?
Yes, like everyone see this? This is a cup. What do we do with our cup? We fill our cup up with the Lord.
No, literally.
Oh my gosh. You need to do a whole episode on pick it up and freeze. Have like 5 items and make people do it.
That would be so fun. That would be so fun.
That was good though.
That was
I like
good.
that.
What do you think? I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
What do you think we can learn about God through this story? And you can take a second to think about it.
Oh, that's a little hard.
I know it's like a hard.
It's really
question.
hard for me to like interpret new stories in the Bible. Like I have been stuck on just like understanding the Gospels.
Right.
And which is so good.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. But I've read through them like twice now, just like and like understanding it. So this might take a little bit.
That's okay.
Um,
And I've read this before and you haven't, so it's alright.
yeah.
I don't even know what I'd say to that
Yeah.
question, so.
I feel like it's really, like, it's not hard to understand, but it's, like, relating it back to God is kind of hard because he wasn't, like, present. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Since I've read the whole book,
Yeah,
when
you go ahead.
I feel like in Esther, kind of the whole book, God is prevalent in the way that, like, you don't have to know everything and you don't have to be in control.
I didn't think about that.
And it's okay to, like, because Vashti was like, I'm not coming before the king. And
Yeah.
she didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
But she was like, she put her trust. Like, she had to put her trust in something because, like, she obviously, I mean, it doesn't say she put her trust in God, but, like.
But you can obviously
you
see
can
that,
you can imply
yeah.
that she was like, this is not for me. And, like, I think throughout this whole book, it's just very prevalent that, like, how many times can I say, like?
I know.
My favorite word.
You're gonna, like, go back and hear this, and I'm gonna be like, I really like that. I say it, like, 50 times.
But the whole book of Esther, to me, right now, because every single time you read through a new book, you get a new understanding.
And, like, a new eye of it. Like,
yes.
I read through the Gospels, 2 times already, and, like, each time I'm like, wow, and like that, like, really, like, applies to this, and
yes,
that's the cool thing about the Bible is you'll never get tired of it.
Yeah, I would say the theme of Esther that I get out of it, that the Lord puts on my heart, is that you don't have to be in control because you don't know control. Like, right. You can't know control because God's the only one who is in control, and so just to take a step back and let him have the reins. Like, they were never really in your hands, to be honest, but to stop fighting for them.
Yeah.
That's what I like. That's what I get out of, like, when I look for God in Esther, that's what I get out of this book.
Yeah. I like that. Like, no, I can't stop saying it. I feel like there's just, like, this, I mean, like, as for you, like, a senior, like, just, like, thinking, like, you need to, like, take control with everything in your life, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure you've gone through, like, a trial in your life, or maybe you're going through right now where you feel like you have to, like, have everything planned out, and, like, you're the one in control. And I know for me, there's been, like, areas in my life where I'm, like, I don't know what I'm doing, or, like, I need to figure everything out right now. But just having that faith, as small as a mustard seed.
Yes.
I want everything ever.
I'll tell a story.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
When I was a junior, I came into my faith. I've grown up in a Christian household, but I truly started running after the Lord was, like, probably my junior year, and I was dead set on going to school in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I've always known that I wanted to go out of state.
Yeah.
But I was like, I am going to school in Colorado, and I'm going to go to, I wanted to go to MNU. No, not MNU. That's where Alyssa's going. What is it? It was M something. Colorado Mesa University.
Oh, I've never heard
CMU.
of that. And was it ministry?
No.
Oh, wow.
I was going to go for business.
Oh.
I wanted to, because I'm so very passionate about, like, content creation,
all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna go to Colorado Mesa. I was gonna try and intern at a flower shop because I love flowers, and I wanted to like, maybe do a florist thing on the side. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Colorado. I was dead set on it.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing that my church does. It's called Fine Arts because it's an Assembly of God church. And it's kind of like contest for, like, state or band or choir. Like, you go and you perform and you get a score. It's the same thing, but for church. And you can do, like, there's a bunch of different categories, but I was going in the solo category. So, but it has to be, like, based off Jesus. So, like, I had to do, like, a Jesus song. So I was trying to find a song, and the song popped up on my Instagram, and it was Monday Morning Faith, which is written by the college that I'm committed to now.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Yeah. And I clicked on it and I was like, this is a good song. And I listened to it and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this for fine arts. So I did it for fine arts, but I didn't look into the school because I was like, I'm not going 21 hours away for college.
Did you even like come across your mind that you'd even like go there or have any like interest in it?
I was like,
or were you like,
I looked at their Instagram and I was like, oh, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, too bad I can't go.
Yeah.
Because it's so far away.
Yeah.
And
the Holy Spirit was like, just wait, honey. Like, why are you doubting me already?
No, literally.
Like, why?
I looked at it like, like a little shrug. So then I performed it for fine arts, which was 2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I was like, I looked into the school and I was like, I just felt, you know, when you like feel, I don't like God's hand on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gets like heavy, but it's
on
not
your soul.
But
like,
it's yes, but it's like
yeah.
but it's like not heavy. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you can just feel it, his presence.
Yes.
As soon as I started looking into that school, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
And
That's
I was
amazing.
like,
and he knew that.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was like, I'm like scared. I'm like, I can't go 21 hours away for college. Like, there's no way. And I was like, I don't like their school colors. I was like,
That is so funny.
I was like, I don't even look good in red. Like, I can't.
Everyone looks good in red.
I was like, I can't go to this school.
You rock a good red lip.
I was oh, the dance team pictures with with the red lip. The red lip has cursed me.
Yeah,
but I was like
purple. I'm like, what?
It's red and white, and then their mascot is fire. Like, just fire.
It's cute.
I love it now. But in the beginning, I was like, I don't even look good in red. Like, I wanted my Mesa's colors weren't even like cute colors. It was like maroon. But I was like, I really wanted my school to be blue. Because
It was so cute.
It is so cute. I love it. But it's not about the school colors, guys.
That's funny.
So I was like, okay, I guess I'll look into it. I put my application in September. I wrote an essay about how my favorite color used to be pink. Or I used to hate the color pink. And now it's my favorite color. But I used to hate the color pink because I cared about what people thought of me.
Oh,
and
gosh.
I related it to how, like, I was like, I used to hate, my first sentence was like, I used to hate the color pink. Or when I was younger, I used to hate the color pink. And then my last sentence was like, just like I never hated pink, I never hated God. I was just truly scared to love it and let people see me loving it. I can send it to you.
I bet it's so good.
And I was like, I sent that in, I sent my stuff in, and I got accepted 2 weeks later.
2 weeks?
Yeah. And I was like...
Okay, like, if you don't believe in God now, like...
And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is so crazy. And I was in English class, and I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, like, I'm accepted. And she's like, yay. It's just like, so then we went on a college visit a couple weeks ago, and I was just so at peace the whole time. And, like, my major in college is a Bible major, and then I'm minoring, and with that major you can minor and then, or either double major or have 2 minors, because I have like the Bible major and then the 2 minors. So I'm gonna do Bible major, 2 minors, and I'm gonna do worship and then some sort of like digital design or something, or like marketing or something. And the thing is like, the whole reason I was telling this story is because you were like, just trusting in the Lord and like especially about your future. I'm gonna graduate college and I have no idea what I'm going into.
But that's like okay. And like our generation and like the teachers at our school and like everything like that, they're like putting it on us that like you need to have your life figured out. Like you need to know what you're doing after college. Like you need to know when everything is happening. But like once you get that realization that like I put my faith in God, and I have so much faith in God that I'm going to graduate college, and I'm already going to know what I'm going to do because God is going to tell me what to do.
My thing I always love to say is, whenever someone asks me, like, what are you going to do after college? I say, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but God does.
And people probably are like, ew.
They're like,
you're gonna get so, like, you're gonna
They're
get
like-
judged so bad.
They're like, okay.
Yeah, like,
Maybe be
okay.
a little more realistic.
Like, you just take the wheel.
I'm like, no, Jesus, take the wheel.
Literally.
Because that's the thing, is like, I'm going to college to strengthen my gifts, because God has put it, like, he has called me into some sort of ministry. He has called me to further his kingdom.
Yeah, he has.
And I'm not gonna sit back and let the world tell me what to do when the world has no value.
Literally.
And I'm not gonna put value on something when God is the only thing that has value.
Wow. I like that. I need to write that down.
I literally made a TikTok about that the other day, that I was like, when you let other people's opinions affect you, you are adding value.
No, literally. And, like,
because God's
and
opinion
that's, like,
is
in
the
the
only
Bible,
thing.
like, in Esther, like, we just, like live, like, he wants to, like, value the people at the party, and, like, just, like,
he wants everyone to see beautiful
drink,
Vashiti.
he wants to do this, he wants to do that, and, like, act a totally different way, but, like, in the end, like, he's hurting so many people.
Yeah.
Once you figure out that you can find so much more value in God than you can other people, living for the world versus living for God is just, like, it's so breathtaking.
Yeah. And nobody talks about how heartbreaking it is. Like
leaving that, or
like letting go of things that you love, but aren't for you.
No, literally.
Like, it is so hard. I love that we're just, like, talking.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody talks about how, like, following Jesus, you can get so sad because
it's almost like you feel more lonely than you
that's
ever
how
have.
yes
No,
I felt so lonely because I was like, I don't really have, like, Christian friends. And so, like, I prayed and I was like, God, like, I just need someone, because like I need someone that I can talk to about Jesus, because, like, I feel like I can't really talk to many people about it, because like my parents, like, my mom is getting better at it, but, like, when I was younger, she wasn't as close to God as she is now.
Yeah, and that's because of you, though.
Yeah, we didn't really have, like, God in our relationship, and I was talking to, like, my grandma about it, and my mom follows my podcast, so she's probably gonna hear this. Like, so love you, I love you, Mom. I'm being honest, okay? But I like cried because I was like, I just want me and my mom's relationship to be through God, because me and my mom's relationship is, we fight a lot, and I don't want to fight with my mom. Like, I want to pursue Jesus with my mom. I cannot express how much, like, I don't want to fight with my mom, but sometimes it's so hard because I just, like, I like to be in control. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, is, like, I have to step back and, like, say that I'm not, like, I can't be in control.
Yeah.
And that is okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I, like, talked to my grandma about it, and I prayed about it, and then, like, the other day when I was leaving for school, my mom had her Bible open, and so I was like, hey, Mom, like, what are you reading? And, like, we had a whole Jesus conversation, and, like, ever since then, she's been sending me, like, Jesus things, and I've been sending her Jesus things, and, like, it feels so lonely, but the Lord is going to bless you for being faithful. Like, I felt so lonely because I felt like I went to New Life, and at least not the hugest fan, but it's okay. I went to New Life, and I just fell at the altar, and I prayed, and the worship pastor's wife came over to me, and she was like, you know when someone prays for you, and you're like, you couldn't have known that.
No, literally.
Unless I told you.
No, I was at Riverlawn a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I, like, was going to church kind of here and there, and my friend Isabel was like, hey, you should come to this worship night that Cater was hosting. And I went.
The tacos and stuff?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I went, and I was, like, in the front row, and I had, and this, like, song, I don't even remember what song it was, but it came on, and I fell to my knees and, like, was hysterically crying. And then these two girls came up to me afterwards and was, like, telling me, I'm not gonna say it, but, like, they told me, like, exactly what, like, I was going through.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you know that? And they're like, no, like, we feel like this is what you're going through right now.
Yeah.
And have you ever, like, had someone come up to you in public and, like, you think they're kind of crazy, but they, like, are saying something and you're like, oh my gosh, why is that so true?
Yeah.
This, like, lady that we were, like, not in such good part of Wichita came up to me and my mom And my mom was like kind of like pulling us back, and she's like, no, like I need to pray for you. And she like came up and prayed for me, and she's like, no, like I feel like you're gonna be a teacher. And I was like, actually, I want to be in cosmetology, but my whole life I want to be a teacher. But now I'm good at cosmetology. And she's like, no, like you're gonna be a teacher, and like you're gonna lead people to God.
Yeah.
And then the next week after that, my boyfriend's mom was like, Ellie, like, are you gonna be a teacher? Like, you have teacher vibes.
Yeah.
And then like the week after that, and like that whole time, I was like struggling with who I wanted to be when I'm older and stuff like that.
It's so crazy how
It's
like
insane.
God plants those little seeds.
Yeah.
In you, you know.
Yeah.
And
sure.
like through other people.
Yeah.
And that lady, she came up and prayed for me, not to me. She prayed for me, and she was like, Lord, I know it can be lonely to follow you. And I was like, instant tears. I started bawling. And she was like, Lord, and like she has her hand on my back, and I'm like laying down. So like I'm on my knees, like laying down.
Yeah.
And she's like, she can like feel me like like through my back.
I love that.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this lady, it's the first day I've met her, now she's feeling me bawling.
First time at the church. You think I'm crazy?
And she was talking, and she was like, she like got quiet for a second, like she prayed that whole thing over me, and then she got quiet for a second. She was like, Lord, I just feel like Lexi's a forerunner. And I was like, and she's like, she's going to do things, and she's not going to be sure of them, and she's going to be the first person to do them, Lord. And she was like talking about it, and she was like, and I know that can get lonely too. And I was like, and then I like prayed, and I was like, God, like I know like sometimes I feel so alone, but like I pray that like you would give me a community that I would be able to like chase after people.
Yeah.
Chase after you with people. And I invited this one girl to church, and she's been coming to church for a couple weeks, and so we've been texting about Jesus more. And then I invited 2 of my other friends to church.
Wow.
They've been coming to church, and we've been texting about Jesus more.
Yeah.
And then like literally 2 days later, me and Ellie had a conversation in the hallway.
Oh
and
my gosh.
Now we're filming a podcast together.
Yeah.
And like right after I prayed that, my best friend Alyssa, we started like talking about Jesus, and there has not been a day that we have not had like a long, huge conversation about scripture and Jesus.
So good.
Yes.
And it like makes me sad because, and I like pray that everyone in life can at least have that relationship with someone, because oh my gosh, it is so good.
Yes.
Like having someone that you can talk to every single day about God.
Right.
And like, I mean, it's almost like it doesn't seem real at first.
It doesn't.
Because you're like, yeah, I've always dreamed of this, but like, what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like, are you just faking it?
Yeah.
Like, the first time I ever had, like, conversation with someone, they, like, started talking to me about God, and I was like, I didn't even know you believed in God. And then we had this, like, whole conversation, and now we've been dating for 8 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. And it's like, I prayed about it, and I was being faithful, and God blessed me.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been praying. I knew I felt that way, but I hadn't been praying about it. I prayed about it, and God blessed me. And
so
and He may not bless you right after you pray about it.
No.
I mean, you're gonna have to wait.
And it takes time. Like, it could take, like, 5 years.
He's not gonna give it to you when He knows you can't handle it.
No. And when you don't, not necessarily deserve it, but, like, whenever you haven't been faithful enough.
Yeah.
Like, if you can pray, and you can be like, well, God, I'd like you to do this, and then it's like, and then, like, you see that in the Gospels, like, they come up to him, and they're like, no, like, heal me, please, and they're like, you don't even have faith in me, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like, you don't think I can do this, so why are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, like, my pastor said this on Wednesday, he said, like, God doesn't want a business relationship with you, when you only call Him when you need something.
Wow. He's not open 35 days.
Yeah.
You also don't need a resume to come to God.
That is so good. You don't need a resume to come to God.
You don't need a resume. No, He's like open doors.
That is
like,
so good.
Walk in nail salon type of guy.
Yes. Well, I'm that kind of girl. So, yeah. So just relating that back to Esther, like, is like while we're like reading through this book, just having that open mind to find like where God's at, and in the story. And also to know that, like, He is in control, and we do not we do not need to put our faith in anything else.
Yeah.
Or lose faithfulness because
No.
he's the one who's gonna give everything to you.
Everything.
Give and take.
No, yeah. Whenever you were talking about, like, the college and, like, how you, like, you know, it was so far away and, like, you didn't know if you could, like, go that far.
Yeah.
It's kind of like whenever Jesus called on Matthew to be one of his disciples, he was, like, his first. He, like, came up to him at, like, a tax booth and was like, hey, you're gonna come with me and, like, you're done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's, like, it's, you know, it's, like, leaving everything behind. I mean, like, you're leaving everything behind.
Everything.
Like, you're leaving your siblings that, like, you, like, almost mentor in life, and, like, you're leaving, like, your community you've ever known and stuff like that, but, like, oh my gosh, you're gonna grow such a big community at the college you're going to.
I'm so excited.
And, like, you're gonna share, and, like, who knows what God has for you after college. Like, you could become, like, a pastor. Like, you could do so much, and, like, God has that plan for you. Exactly. And, like, it's so much better, and it's, like, hard to even look at that and know that it's better.
Right.
It's like, how better can it get? Is where I find myself sometimes too. Sometimes
I feel like we get so caught up in, like, right now that we can't even, like, or like someone said, like, I heard a pastor say, like, we always say we can't wait, but why don't we just live in the moment?
Yeah.
But I feel like we have to have an even balance of, oh, I can't wait, and oh, I can't wait to live today. But I think sometimes we get so clouded by, like, everything that we know that we're so scared to take our next step in faith in Jesus just because of everything we know. Like, letting go of the world. Yeah. Just following what God says. Or think our life is even good right now. I've had so many people where I'm like, hey, I was like, hey, how can I pray for you? And they're like, no, life is pretty good right now. And I was like, nah, girl. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll pray and close us out.
Great.
Okay. Lord, I just want to thank you for this day. I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to read your word and share it. Lord, I pray that everything that is you, Lord, that is from you, that would be heard throughout this, and anything that's just our opinion or not beneficial, Lord, that it would fall on deaf's ears, Lord, that you would shine through this, because you are our faithfulness, you are who we love, Lord, you are who we follow. Lord, I pray that we would know that we don't have to be in control, that we can take a step back and we can give you all the reins, Lord, that we don't have to fight for them because they were never ours in the first place. Lord, I pray that we can just lay everything at your feet and walk fully, unweighted into your presence, Lord, as you have designed it. Lord, I pray over every person who's either listening or watching, Lord, I pray that you would be with them because you know their heart and you know who they are, Lord, that you would hold them close to your heart, you would work in them, Lord, and that you would show them your faithfulness and show them who you have who they are, because you have their life planned out, Lord. I pray for Ellie. I pray that you would work in her, Lord, and that you would bring her peace and faithfulness, Lord, that you would just hold her and keep her steadfast, Lord. We thank you for your word, and we thank you for this time together here, Lord, and it's in your name we pray.
Amen. That was so good.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next time. I still haven't decided when exactly I'm going to post podcast episodes because I don't know. Like, I just want to post them all the time.
I would. I'd be like, new one every day.
That's kind of how I feel, but like that's too much.
Yeah, but like if that's what God's calling you to do,
I feel like maybe it shouldn't be on a schedule.
Right? No, it shouldn't. Because then you're gonna get
I don't want to put Jesus on the schedule.
That was so good. That was so good. We need a shirt with that.
I don't. Wait.
You need merch.
Yeah. I have 2 episodes out. I need merch.
We need merch now. Well, I really appreciate you for like letting me come on here.
Of course.
I can't wait to go listen now.
I loved having you.
Probably cringe listening to my voice, but
I do too.
Yeah,
I too. I could barely edit yesterday.
You're so like bubbly.
I was like, I sound like that.
No, it's so cute. It's so cute. You're like,
thank you.
So I got this one still too, and I'm like, yeah, you did.
Okay. Well.
All right. Well,
We'll see you next.
Peace out.
Yeah, see you next time. At least say toodaloo. Ready?
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Sounds like we're on Mickey Mouse.
That's why I like to say it.
Oh, that was so cute.